surprised when I came in and started surrounding the tables here. Everybody was not hesitant to come right up and start asking questions and going right into it. So that was quite an interesting introduction, so to speak. Especially my table over here. These ladies were not hesitant at all to get right in there and start asking it. And of course, the first question was, "Who are you?" and everything else. So I am David Lozano. I am running for governor, and I was in the last recall election amongst all those 46 candidates. I got 20,000 voters who wanted to elect me as their governor in the last election, and of course I'm running this election. My number one reason for running is because I came up with a solution to homelessness 3 years ago. That's basically based on my background. I am a past LA County Sheriff back in the late 70s or early 80s. I worked in South Central Los Angeles in Watts, basically out of the Lenox Sheriff Station, Firestone, Linwood, Graveyard Division, and all of that area. I had over 100 felony arrests, and we have a sheriff's candidate here tonight. Yes, sir. And so he knows. And then when I left the Sheriff's Department, I actually worked all over the world, Egypt, Australia, Mexico, Turkey, Greece, Fiji, as an international relations representative. I've worked in Washington, D.C., Virginia, worked in the Connecticut State Legislature as a legislative intern, and I've been a federal attorney here for the last 28 years. Basically, the solution comes out of Finland for homelessness. They have their project has almost solved their entire country's problem of homelessness, and what I've done is I've gone ahead and taken the best parts of their project, brought over here to the United States, and revamped it here for the U.S., specifically for California, and we're ready to go in implementing that program. And I'm working with people here basically to implement that, and it's ready to go. Some of you may know who Ted Hayes is out of Venice Beach. He's been an advocate for homelessness, solving homelessness for the past 36 years, and he's basically part of the team, along with Maxine Steely, who's out in Skid Row every Saturday, and I invite many of you to go out there and assist her in helping the homeless. And she's out there, she's part of the team, along with so many others. Many of you may not know, but the Olympic Committee, who's going to be obviously in charge of 2028, was watching the Super Bowl and how this past Super Bowl, how they were out in yes, thank you. How they were handling the homeless, and they want to solve homeless as much as we do, and so they are looking to dedicate $30 million annually to solving this problem. And so they're kind of joining with us to solve this problem. And the way we're going to solve this problem is, in my idea called A New Hope, is to build from the ground up, not one, but 3 major metropolitan residential cities, brand new, one in the upper part of California, the middle part of California, and the southern tip of California. 3 major metropolitan residential cities where we're going to be able to house over 160,000 homeless. Now, these cities are not homeless cities. These are regular cities where regular people come and live. There's going to be an upper class area, a middle class area, and a moderate class area. And in the moderate class areas, that's where we're going to be housing over 50,000 homeless, 50 to 55,000 homeless each. Okay, that's where you get the 160,000. Okay, and in there we're going to be able to house, care, feed, rehabilitate the homeless. For those who wish to be rehabilitated, for those who don't wish to be rehabilitated, we have an area for them as well. But what we're going to be able to do is sweep across all of California, gently but firmly lift them up, carry them over to these areas, and that's what we're going to be able to care for them. Now, if you go to my website, all of that will be explained. And again, I invite you to go to my website and look at my history, look at my background, look at my accomplishments, and see what I can do. I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm not a movie star, I'm not a radio disc jockey, I don't have that kind of acclaim, you know, I have the background to be able to lead. That's what my background is, okay? I'm a negotiator, I'm an attorney. My background says all this. So this is what being a governor is all about. When you look to lead a state in this kind of a position, you don't technically get up here and give speeches and give little quirps on fancy little sentences and things. You sit down and you listen to people's views and comments and things, and you absorb all of this information, and you take time to figure out what is the solution. And then you lead and you motivate and you get people together and you come up with the right decision. It takes time. You just can't come up with a 1-minute decision. It takes time to come up with that decision, and you lead. Now, when I gave my so-called initial presentation on my project called The New Hope, I said that I can solve homelessness within 2 years or less. And I stand by that. Now, people said that it can't be done. Well, back in 1954, there was a gentleman that stood over the orange groves of Anaheim, and he looked across those fields, and he had plans under his arms, and he waved over to his supervisor, and he said, he thought about it for a minute, and he said, hey, look, I want to start this project, but I'm thinking about handing this over to you, my supervisor, and I'll come back in a couple of years and see how you're doing. He was about to do that. He was about to hand over those plans, and at the last minute he said, no, I'll do it. I'll be here every day to watch over this. His name was Walt Disney, and he built that, guess how long? 1 year. Most of you may not know this, but in 1 year's time, he built Disneyland. Okay? So, I know you're raising that. I hope that you will think about this, think about who you want for your next governor. Thank you very much.